smettiamo di parlare e iniziamo a giocare come sappiamo, oppure lasciamo che passino altri 40 minuti come questi qua. Perché ci stanno ridendo in faccia. E si mette a ridere ogni volta, ci dice dai gioca, dai gioca. Ti vogliono lasciare per terra adesso, Andiamo in mezzo là, facciamo una guerra, Ale, dai! Ale! Insieme!
So this would be the walkout for the team onto the main pitch. There's not much more to say about that. Zebre is one of 2 professional franchises in Italy, and it has a huge role to play within the national structure. We would not train at this time. It's 12 o'clock now. It's too warm. It's probably about 28, 29 now, but in the height of pre-season, go back a month, it's up 35, 36. Which is very, very, very warm. And then in the evenings, afternoons, it gets very humid. It's oppressive, you know, it's really, really warm. So we train early in the morning. If we can manage it, we will train early in the morning and get the gym session and finish in the morning. If we can't, we'll train early in the morning, gym, rest off, and then do 6 o'clock in the evening.
We're trying to be more fluid, and it's getting that balance right. And what Brad's has brought is, I think they enjoy themselves there. If you looked at the depth this time last year of Zebre compared to this year, it's poles apart. They were, to all intents and purposes, bankrupt. They had no players. All of them were out of contract because none of them had a contract. It was a new operation that was coming in, but the old operation was still there. They weren't getting paid.
Credit must go to Alfredo Gavazzi, the president of FIR, for appointing Andre Deladoni as the president for Zebre. Andre has a fantastic reputation in Italy and internationally as a businessman, and he's put in fundamentals that will help structure and support the future development of Zebre Rugby Club. It means that all the discussions that we now have are about rugby. There's no off-field issues. So what was most pleasing about last year was that we established this style of play, which is basically hold on to the ball as best we can in terms of possession. Look for offloads, don't go to ground. If the opposition then put a lot of numbers in the defence system, then try and exploit the space behind. That's attack. And then defence, we want to put max pressure on early, and both of those are risky. The reason why we play this style of rugby is not because it's attractive in its essence, but we feel as though it suits the skill set of our players in Zebre, and it allows us to win matches. So that's why we go there. Okay, for tomorrow, just remember, and more so for prossimo settimana, for next week. Okay. Tomorrow is about getting just detail correct. You know, it's a good game for them, good game for us, and very good preparation for the Kings. Okay, let's play a bit of rugby. Off the top, an attack, and then do maybe a peel. Just try our moves.
We try Leicester.
Perfect.
And then we try in Irlanda.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect.
I've known Brad's. You know, he was my captain for Ireland, and whatever, my first few years there, and he was always the same. Like he was always pragmatic. He was always relaxed and chilled, and if you dealt him a bad hand, he just went, "It's my hand, let's get on with it." And I think that's a really nice way in Zebre, because they do have a tough time. You know, it's not a perfect system there. It's miles better than it was a year ago, but so much more to go.
We'll go up to our 5 metre line, and it's a Treviso scrum, or King scrum, and they're going to just get a little bit of an angle on us, and we just have to hit in. And we have to get is the 9 coming across? So what player is going to come to help the 7 inside the 10? For me? 9, done.
Io penso che se, if the scrum is close to the touch, the wing can come.
Well, you organise it between yourselves, but if the wing comes, you have to stay.
He's brought in a rugby that really suits us, this offloading game to keep the ball in play. He's got very high expectations of what he wants in training and on the pitch. These next 2 years will be very important for us with him.
We have done, I think, the 60–70% of our potential, and this year our team is even better than last year, so we can only improve.
Obviously, we don't want this angle, but I want you to come up one on Lovo. Okay, you orchestrate just a quarter turn. Okay, it's probably impossible, but we just have to get numbers in there, Trunky. I mean, it's like you said, if we lose scrum angle and power, we're very vulnerable anyway. So we just play. The players in Zebre have adopted the style. They're very happy with it. They enjoy playing it. Our supporters enjoy watching, and you know, we've had some fantastic games. We haven't won them all, but we have some fantastic games. If we lose the angle, we're probably going to concede anyway. It's difficult, you know, so it's just a risk. What I'm going to do is I'll do what Treviso does. So we'll have the 8 run and pass it inside to the 7. Tight, short, piccolo, short. Fast and powerful is what we're looking for. We want the players to have an advantage in speed and be powerful in the contact, but not weighty. Weighty will slow you down. Once the ball is in play, you have to play rugby, and you have to move around the pitch. And if you can move around the pitch quicker than the opposition, and if you can be very effective in the breakdown, in defence or in attack, more effective than the opposition, it gives you a fantastic opportunity to create opportunities to win a match, to score, etc., etc. So that would be the philosophy that we're pursuing here. Fuck. Go again. Two forwards are very cramped up there. It's a good day to fuck up, George. Right, this is the gym. Ooh, nice and cool. So we're in under the main stand of the stadium. The layout of the gym is focused towards the creation of the type of athlete that we were talking about, fast and powerful. So, you know, we'd have principal exercises that Giovanni and Francesco will go through with the boys, because the standards are there, the world standards are there for each position. And then but the program has to be individualized. So there's certain positions would lend itself to certain sizes, like your props and your second rows as an ideal example of that. But I mean, you can be physically very, very appropriate for a position, but if you can't play the game, then that's an issue. In terms of the designing of the player, would be a player that would fit into our style of play, and then have the attributes that we talked about, which is speed and power. So that's what we're looking for.
Ever since I was young, starting from a young age, I've always wanted to play rugby for a living, you know, make money. So at the end of the day, it's a way of getting out of a certain place in New Zealand where I was motivated a lot by the lifestyle of some rugby players, and then you just thought, you know, you saw the Sean Fitzpatricks and stuff growing up, and then you thought, oh man, I want to get paid doing that, you know, I want to be an All Black. So then that's pretty much where it started for me. I was in the North Harbour ITM setup for a number of years, and then as the years go by, certain opportunities pop up, you take that, and eventually it's landed me here. So I'm more of a physical player, like a physical 8, and I love to ball carry. And I think I suit into the game over here in the Northern Hemisphere because I know that they love ball carries and stuff.
It's hard to stop you there.
Fuck yeah, you ain't gonna stop that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing all right.
So in Scotland, you're Italian. In Italy, you're Scottish, so you don't win on either side. I would consider myself 100% Italian. I was born in Scotland, but I've always been living in Italy, other than when I went to school in Edinburgh. And obviously that's where I started playing rugby, so they stuck me on the wing where I could do the least amount of damage. So you manage the conditions in Scotland. The ball doesn't get out to the wing very often. Then I went on to University in Milan, and there I started, I played with a local side, like on the under 20 side. And then one thing led to another. It was better than doing a 9-to-5 job. I am the oldest in the team, even though I'm only 32, okay, have that on record.
George is the old dog here, so he's kind of like, I don't want to say it to him, like king of the jungle around here, you know, walks around with his big chest and all that, and all the boys is quite intimidated.
Say hello to the brothers in Fiji.
Hello, Mbula, Mbula Fiji!
Bula, bula!
How about those roads you talk about?
Man, they're fucking good shit, eh? Mate, I'm lucky you gave me a good price on them, huh?
You know, I think a couple of the boys just try and stitch him up every now and then. We knew that he was all mic'd up, you know, and when I dropped in the line like, hey bro, how about those roids you gave me?
You need to give me some more later.
That's the kind of person he is.
One of the nicknames I gave him last year was Benjamin Button Biaggi, because the guy just kept playing better and better and better every game, and he did really well not to get injured last year for the amount of game time he had. Really good operator for us, does an awful lot for us off the field.
It was funny because when you guys were rolling around on the camera, you just see the boys. We've never worked out that hard in the gym. I'll tell you right now, boys are starting to flex their muscles out, going, bro, what are you doing?
2, 3, 4. Hope you're filming my good side, guys.
Fuck's sake, George, that's shit.
Looking massive, buddy. Huh? All that Fijian beef, huh? Making Italian girls go crazy, happy. There's not enough weights in the gym for me, so just adding a bit of an elastic. Watch this.
Guys that never do anything were in front of the camera like this.
Not a bad program. What do you think, guys? You think I can start being a personal trainer? Once I finish rugby, 6-year-olds trying to get fit. Dave, do you think I can start my own website and like supplements like James Haskell? Well, to be honest, I was actually quite worried that no one was pushing hard enough. It looks really strong and macho, so that's the main thing, I think. We actually got a special thing here. It's called Dick of the Week. It's for, we need to sort of, the boys are getting out of control with Instagram, so we're making sure the guys get punished when they get about out of control on social media, and we got a special prize. Ask Big Dave about it. He's our judge and executioner.
Just something I felt that needed policing, maybe something that's gone under the radar out here. You know, in England you cop a lot of stick from your teammates for you know, sort of some dodgy social media posts.
We've got hashtag Nutritech, if anyone's out there.
Thank you, Lewis.
Grazie Luz, grazie Luz. Grazie Luz. Happy wants to be famous, happy Fiji.
Yeah, he needs more. He wants to be the king of Fiji, so he needs some extra followers on that as well.
I'd say go follow me on Instagram, but you won't better spell his name.
Yeah, something that I've sort of maybe a bit of culture from back home, but I think it's probably in rugby culture that the Italians didn't know they wanted it. Something that I've brought in, and the boys enjoy it on a Monday morning. It puts some smiles on faces. I brought up and raised in Southampton in England, and then spent sort of the start of my career in London with London Irish. Moved to Bath after a few years, and then ended up trying to explore these Italian roots out here.
I got an opportunity to play in Northern Hemisphere for the first time, so for me, I was ready for a change, and well, Italy is the food and the people and the scenery and stuff. It's easy choice.
I used to play football when I was younger, when I was at school, and yeah, when I started knowing rugby, because when I was 10 I didn't even know what rugby was actually. When I started watching rugby, and I remember it was one game of 2003 World Cup, the one that England won. Yeah, I was looking at the All Blacks, of course, as everybody, and especially Tana Umaga was like an idol for me. You know, I always when I found out YouTube, I always went to watch his highlights and stuff like that, and Brian O'Driscoll as well. I wouldn't do this sport if I am not enjoying, because it's too hard. You know, if you don't enjoy playing rugby, then you just don't play.
When you wake up especially on the Monday morning after a tough match, you got to like a lot the rugby and have a lot of passion to keep on doing what you're doing, because it's really tough to wake up on the Monday morning.
I think we're very lucky to be doing this job. We could be stuck behind a laptop like you. No, I'm just joking.
I love it. Like that's another reason why I play rugby and do what I do, is you get to meet so many guys from different countries, different cultures. And so, for example, like in our change room, there's so many languages. There's Fijian getting chucked around, South African, like, you know, Afrikaans. There's Spanish being chucked around, obviously Italian. Every now and then there's Tongan and a bit of Samoan chucked around last year. That for me is like, man, that shows how strong rugby is. It's not only a sport, but it brings cultures together.
They enjoy each other's company. They don't look at each other as Fijian, Tongan, New Zealand, South African, English. They just put on the jersey. They train together. They try and produce a performance in the end. I think it's good because, in another sense, because there's a clash of cultures and way of doing things, and it can bring a lot of humour. Where are they gone? Joe, Terry, excuse me. The orange bibs, did the boys leave them over in the gym? Do you know? Lads, are there any orange bibs around here? Robbie, I'm looking for the orange bibs. I don't know where they're gone to. They might be in the gym, I'm not sure. Possibly, but it's okay, white is okay, it's fine. Fuck. Bianco. Giovanni Biondi is the head of S&C, and he runs a very good ship. Francesca Dellacecca works with him. They're good friends and good workmates, but they're quality professionals as well. I've been to 4 or 5 countries now, and the quality that they have is top class.
Our profile is come from the coaching mentality of here. Michael Bradley have a clear message for me to drive the S&C in one specific direction. And our profile of S&C now is have the player as lean we can, powerful, fast, hard, but not so massive with English style of rugby. We try to develop the power about more speed, lean and speed. Lean and fast is our profile of S&C now.
Sempre dispari. C'ha ragione. Tu esci. Bisogna fare 1, 2, posso fare così.
Oppure poi fa cagare così.
Fuori.
Con le tue anche fa cagare.
O fai un tocco.
Così è veloce.
O 3. Allora.
Occhio Giambo.
You know, in Italian my name is very long. It's called Giovan Battista. It's my grandfather's name. So, you know, we needed something shorter, so I have a lot of nicknames like Joe, Jamba, Jomba, Johnson, a lot of it. But Jamba is the best one, the common one now. On my bold face. So this was my first match, not my first match, but my first Six Nations with Italy. And so I'm about to score the winning try against Scotland in the last game of the Six Nations in 2012. For the young player, we got this tradition to cut this hair. So that's why I've got this pretty bald head. We usually train on that one.
You're, if I'm not wrong, you're the heaviest European
Yeah.
winger in the world.
Yeah.
You have to go Polynesian to get any bigger than you.
Exactly.
On the wing.
I was also 115, so that's why I'm fading a bit. But it's a good thing, you know.
Taking that into contact.
Yeah, exactly. Rugby is becoming that tough because the athletes that are playing now are very, very big. I had a concussion who took me down off the game for like 3 or 4 months or so, and every impact now it's very good impact that you can feel it also 3 or 4 days later. And I was following the ball, and the last time, at the really last moment, I kind of jumped to have a good impact, a good tackle, and I had my face on the other player's knee. I went down. I didn't remember anything. I woke up at the hospital. I mean, for me, I was good at the time, but not the doctor or the guys who saw the show. That's the kind of problem that you can have. Every impact is gonna count, and you can feel it. So you need to be prepared. You need to work out on the gym, rest well, eat well. There really, literally, is a 24-hour job now. Stay healthy for a good game. Parma is a lovely city to live in because it's not too big, not too small. So lifestyle, yes, is very high. It's close to Milan. There is an airport. And I still hadn't talked about the food. So I've studied nutritional science, so I love Parma. Being on the international side with Italy was the greatest honor of all. The Azzurri shirt is the best one, so it's for all we players play. It's our focus, our main objective. Yeah, the win against South Africa was really a massive moment for us all, for me as well, because not only because I scored the winning try, but just because South Africa has always been one of the most powerful side of the entire world. So it was a dream come true. You really had a great week, because I remember 7 days before we lost in a bad way against New Zealand in Rome. And I remember Conor asked me, do you think we can really win against South Africa? I was, yeah, sure we can, because we are a good group of players. You know Carlo Canna, our number 10, and we play together in Zebre in the national team. And he's obsessed about getting an easy conversion. So every time I score a try with that Zebre shirt, he's always, Jamba, go in the middle, go in the middle, go in the middle. So when I had that ball, I just thought about Carlo's voice, get in the middle, get in the middle. So I tried the short way to get in the middle.
Won by Italy, let's do it. You just need to get the ball into touch and it's all over. Italian rugby has a renaissance.
And then it happened. So it was like, wow, finally really did what we talked about. That's it. So we are going to the food shop, really famous here in Parma, and it's all about cheese and ham. It's a really classic shop. So this is like gold for us, I literally could eat just tons of Parmesan cheese. My favorite one is this one, really seasoned, so 30 months or older, 52 months.
Okay.
That tastes really good. Prendo questo qui anche. Sì.
Che lo pesiamo?
Grazie.
Siamo pronti.
Eccoci qua.
We would have open, I suppose, food options here on the table, and you swing around and everybody get the backdrop of the stadium. It's a nice kind of start to the day. When we do matches, normally I would come up as the coach to actually tell everybody what strategy we're going to use on the day, because it's only 10 minutes before the start. Even if the opposition are here, they're not going to make the adjustment. It's possible that they mightn't even believe me anyway, so it's fine. It's just for entertainment, but it's a good starting point for everybody to view the game. In here is our team room, so we do our presentations post-match, pre-match in here, and any unit work that needs to be done can be done here. In these 3 photographs, these are important moments in the season for us last year. That photograph there is our first away win in Ireland in the history of the club. That was against Connacht. This one was against the Ospreys last year, and that was Gian Marioli's try against Ulster. So it was our first home win in this new era, shall we say, for Zebre Rugby Club. That was a 70-yard run by Gian Marioli, and it was a good victory against Ulster. This was an important moment as well. This was a match in L'Aquila to commemorate the earthquake that was there 9 years ago. And Zebre Rugby Club were the first professional club to come back to L'Aquila, and the town came out in thousands to support Zebre. We played the Dragons there. It was a good match. We're promoting ourselves as a club for all of Italy, and not just Parma. So these are important moments for us in our history. A club is not a club until it starts to become one. So you have to connect the dots as to why you wear the jersey. And when I came in last year, there was a lot of discussions, a lot of time, a lot of energy spent on issues off the pitch. Now this year, all our energy and focus is what's happening on the pitch. The players are not as worried. It's job. You work and obviously you want to be paid. So those issues are gone, and there is stability, which has been afforded by the union. So all that's positive, and the challenge now for us as coaches and for the players is to produce performances on the pitch that raise the profile of the game and obviously raise the profile of Zebre Rugby Club.
The style of game has to really ring and really energise the people that you're with, the players that you're with, the supporters. Italian people are unbelievably passionate. They're artistic. You just look at their history and you look at art, you look at culture. They want to express themselves. We didn't change when the game went pro. So the great side that was there with Stoica, with Dominguez, with Troncon, with Bortolami, with Catita, with Giovanelli, with all these guys, they left. Julian Gardner, they went, and there was a vacuum. There wasn't the system to allow that to happen, and then the gap, as everyone else got professional, became bigger.
Italy is improving, but all the other nations are improving and have a strong federation, strong teams, strong clubs. So we're just trying to reduce the gap between us and the others. It starts with the clubs, and if you become competitive with clubs, then you can come competitive with a national team as well.
In terms of sport at school, they don't play sport at school. They do gymnastics at school. So there's unbelievable sports clubs all around the place outside of school, but you have to specialise early, because it's very hard for a parent to bring their kids, whereas in Ireland we'll take for granted we play 10 or 11 sports at school alone, and you get that breadth of knowledge of game understanding as well as specialising in clubs after school.
We play rugby in school. We play sport in school. Over here in Italy, academics and sporting don't collide, and so if you're sporting and you want to go down that road, you got to separate. Maybe you go to school first, and then after school, then you're doing your individual sports or whatever you want to do.
Of course, Italy is full of problems, and I'm not talking about rugby. I'm talking about the sport. So, for example, my son, he has 2 hours a week, and in England and Newcastle, it was 1 hour. He had 1 hour each day. And he had the opportunity to play rugby, basket, football, and that's it. And in Italy, most of the schools doesn't even have a gym. So for us, that's a big problem. And I think rugby is just a reflection of that kind of problems. When we won against South Africa, we had like this here on the front page. It was a massive honor for rugby on the front page of the Gazzetta.
Zebre is a very strange place. Over the years, 7 years of Zebre, and I think you have more history, more stuff has happened in 7 years of this club than probably a 100-year-old club. Financial issues, coaches changing, presidents changing, all sorts. It takes a really special kind of player to really stay here and thrive in this environment.
first of all, you have to start with the team and the management and the organisation and build it up from there. So if you go into a club who hasn't got that, then you obviously have to start that work first.
When you're in a psyche and a culture of having lost a lot of games, when things go wrong, you tend to unravel, so you have to get through that mental mindset.
The boys were telling me, oh, you know, we've never beaten a team in Ireland, and oh no, we've never won 3 games in a row. I'm like, well, you know, why not?
It's sad, but we are at a low level, you know. If you win something, then media will speak about you, write about you, and then people will know you, and maybe they get interested. In the last, I don't know, 7-8 years since Zebre are here in Parma, foreign clubs put their second or third squad when they knew they were playing Zebre.
It's true. I mean, I don't think, you know, when Leinster come out here, they'll be expecting less than, you know, coming away with 5 points. You look at it and you think, I'd like to see some of those players play here in the conditions that we were in with the issues we had off the field. I think anyone would have struggled.
Last year, it changed a little bit, especially because of our style to play rugby. Not for our victories, but because of our style. People came to the pitch and enjoyed watching us playing.
Last year was a very successful season for us, for laying the foundation in, you know, becoming a much stronger side.
Some teams still try, and we had some good wins against them. So I think this is not going to happen anymore, and it's a good sign of respect for us.
What we wanted to earn is other side's respect, and now they know they must put their best side if they want to win. So it means we have their respect, and that was our goal, to make hard for other team beat us.
We've only got 2 professional clubs here in Italy, and in my experience, a lot of the Italians have got really good friends that play for Treviso, and the Treviso boys obviously got good friends that play here for Zebre. However, the minute we cross the whitewash and the whistle goes, obviously there's a lot of personal pride then on the table. And for us, going into the Kings, we've got a big start to the competition and games that we need to win early on. Treviso is a perfect tune-up for us. It's going to be quite an emotional one, even if it's just a pre-season friendly.
It's always good to go to Treviso and beat your friends up, and there's nothing quite like it. It's a World Cup year as well, so if you can get one up on Treviso, why not? Yeah, absolutely.
Italy is a soccer country. There's massive rivalries between each of the cities, and that spills over into the 2 franchises as well. So Treviso and Zebras, and it's the same as all derbies. It is family against family, neighbours against neighbours. You always have the excitement. There's always some electricity in the air. There will be an edge to the match, and it's a good match for both teams to have.
You can't have a friendly match when we compete with Treviso, because there are a lot of people that want to be the player. You know that you are competing for a spot in your national team.
It almost feels like there's 2 parts of the country coming together, versing each other.
Okay, ragazzi, it's Treviso. Okay, so there will be a bit of an edge, and the last thing they remember is us celebrating last year in the dressing room after we beat them. We want to start this match like the Kings next week. Okay, we want to have that attitude and expect Treviso to do the same.
It's like any derby, I suppose, in the world. It's going to be physical, it's going to be dirty.
We all know each other very well. Some of us play together for Italy. Some want to play for Italy, and maybe someone else is playing and he plays for Treviso.
Have that focus going into the dressing room, starting the game well. Start the game well, it's going to be an enjoyable game.
The skill of any coach is he looked at what he had and said, okay, well, what can I do? Do I dominate teams by physically beating them up, or do we play? We have to play.
Every time we play against each other, nobody wants to lose, nobody wants to let the other win. It's a friendly game, but it's not going to be a friendly match.
to be pretty, it's big. The boys are hyped up, in the change rooms right now.
Smettiamo di parlare e iniziamo a giocare come sappiamo. Io voglio lasciare per terra adesso,
It's just going to be rough, it's going to be ruthless.
Andiamo in mezzo là, facciamo una guerra, Ale, dai! Ale! Insieme! Sì! Ale!
Against this team, who are very, very good, let's test our structure.
Perché ci stanno ridendo in faccia, che si mette a ridere ogni volta, ci dice dai gioca. Abbiamo 40 minuti per dimostrare cosa siamo. Ale, forza!
That team that's out on the pitch there with Violi, Canna, Costello, Bisseni, Padovani, Bellini and Minozzi, that is a serious backline. And with the young guys like Licata, Giamaroli and those guys who can carry the ball, that's a really exciting team they've got there now. And we couldn't say that about the situation a year ago. That excitement wasn't around, and I think Michael's brought that, and everyone's bought into the journey that they're on.
In the second half, it's nice to win these matches, but it wasn't a major issue for us. We wanted a good, hard, physical game. We got that. They tested our systems. Okay. We didn't win the game, and it wasn't about winning the game. It was about having a very hard, physical game. In our style of play, there is risk, and today we got caught a couple of times, but we think that our defence was very good, so that's a plus. Treviso are a big, lumpy side. And as I said, they put us under a lot of pressure. So there's a lot of good, even though the results have not been good. We started this match with 14 internationals, current internationals. We didn't play like we had 14 current internationals, but we started the match and we had 5 or 6 on the bench to come on.
The Zebra that you see now and the Zebra that was around in July, August last year, they're unrecognisable from each other. I think I cannot speak highly enough of Michael, the coaching team, and all the support staff that Giovanni leads there in terms of the job they've done of taking that franchise forwards.
For the team, it's been an incredible year. So of course we have more confidence in our weapon.
We feel every time now we feel we can fight with other teams and we're trying to win.
There's a really nice kind of family atmosphere down in Zebre, and the guys are having fun, they're enjoying each other, they're enjoying their culture there. And I just really hope for them that they can step on and be more successful this season than they've ever been.
Everything in that place is getting better. Giovanni Biondi, in physical preparation, working with Pete, getting the guys fitter, just look at them now and you think, wow, this is just different. They'll be a handful because they'll challenge teams, they'll score from 60, 70, 80 metres, they'll score from turnovers, they'll play some really exciting rugby.
The side has moved away from a difficult situation last year now to a positive environment with ambition and desire, and they're the challenges we face. Food. Okay, and tranquilli per il fino a 7 mani. All right? Done? Capito?
Capito.
third try. But for Zebre, who finished last season with 3 terrific wins in the Pro14, they've started with a win tonight. There is your final score from Parma.
Out it comes from Kana. Was it lost forward? No, it wasn't. A try has to come surely, and it's claimed by the outside half who started it all, Carlo Kana. That's David Sissi holding the shots at this line out. Captain Biaggi departed. Sissi takes Tuya Viti as Zebre drive on towards the Cardiff Blues try line. We had a dramatic start to this match. We're having a dramatic finale as well. And after 78 minutes of play, Zebre get their noses in front for the very first time. It's a mistake right at the death from the Cardiff Blues. Undone by Zebre right at the death here. 26 points to 24. A bonus point win to boot for Zebre, and they are absolutely delighted.
The charge comes with Fabiani in touch at the back of the maul. There's further advantage coming. And the captain is in! Tommaso Castello. Well, the cheer goes up. That is absolutely brilliant from Zebre.